Okay, it is time for piano. All right, let's see here. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Thanks so much for tuning in for Adults and Teens Piano today. I'm very excited to be here with you. This is our 17th lesson. Can you believe that? 17 lessons. Wow, just amazing the stuff that we've accomplished in these short 17 weeks, huh? It's pretty cool. Before we get started on today's lesson, I have a couple things that I need to ask you. If you don't mind liking this video and sharing it with your network, that would help me so much in reaching more piano students, okay? The second thing is of course subscribe on YouTube, right? I have like this fancy thing, woohoo! Subscribe on YouTube, right? Just search Izzy Chia, you'll find my channel. I'm growing by the day. I mean, it's pretty interesting to see how many subscribers we're getting every week. I think we're hovering around like 100 to 120 new subscribers every single week. So whatever you're doing is working, so keep it up, all right? Next, of course, is if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, I encourage you to do so because that's the place where you get that one-on-one interaction from me, okay? I post questions, you guys can post your videos, I will review them, I'll help you get through tricky sections and tricky spots, and we work together to achieve your piano goals, okay? Just search Encore Music Makers on Facebook, all right? And last but not least, I just want to let you know I am on Patreon, right? So Patreon, like I've mentioned before, is like a platform for creative people like myself to get a steadier income, right? So because I'm a donation-based studio, I rely heavily on donations from people like you, right? And Patreon really makes it easy for you to do that donation on a regular basis. You just choose a tier that works for you between $5 and $50 a month, and you'll help keep these lessons going, right? And keep a roof over my head. I appreciate each and every one of you for choosing to join Patreon. So thanks so much for doing that. And I guess it's time to start piano, right? So last week we went over waltz time as well as good morning to you, right? And both of those were in that middle C position, right? So go ahead and pull out your book. We're in the Adult All-in-One course level 1. We're going to turn to page 73. Okay, 73 is the page that waltz time is on, okay? Now, Waltz Time was a really great song because it introduced us to that new dynamic symbol, right? Crescendo, you start soft and you gradually get louder, as well as the diminuendo, which means you start louder and then you're gradually getting softer, okay? So keep that in mind as you're reading through Waltz Time, that we're going to be doing our best at dynamics as well as the notes, okay? So let's go ahead and find ourselves in that middle C position and we'll play through Waltz Time together, okay? All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and put our thumbs on that middle C, okay, because that is that butterfly middle C position. We will fan out our fingers, okay, and we are starting here with the finger 1 on middle C for the left hand. Notice the dynamics though, we are starting piano, okay? Let me count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Great job, everybody. Wow, that sounded really nice. How did you do? Did you manage to get through the whole song? Did you remember the repeat with that octave higher? I almost forgot that part. I got to the end, I was like, oh, surprise, we have a repeat with an octave jump. So if you managed to do that, hey, good points and kudos to you because you probably noticed it more than I did. Bravo, great job. Now, let's keep this momentum going, right? We're having some really good energy. We're getting out those nerves. We are going to turn the page now, and we are going to review Good Morning to You, okay? Now, this one also was in that middle C position, wasn't it? Okay. We had that really cool and funny introduction of the fermata sign, didn't we? Yes, that was like so funny. It's like the musical equivalent of a theatrical dramatic pause, right? Something happens, something that needs extra attention and time given to it, right? It suspends time. So that happens in a couple spots here in Good Morning to You. So let's see if we can make that happen at the keyboard, all right? All right, let's see how it goes. All right, so we're here in our middle C position. Yes, okay. I'm going to find that middle C. I have both my thumbs on middle C. I'm going to start with that finger 4 left hand on G, okay? We are playing a good mezzo forte, so it'll be a relatively loud or moderately loud dynamic sign. And we do have some slurs over here, okay? So just be mindful of that, okay? All right, I'm going to count off. You ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Yeah, and I held my fermatas like extra long. That is a-okay though. How about you? Did you hold your fermatas nice and long? Probably longer than mine, or maybe a little bit shorter. Again, the fermata is cool because it's kind of up to the performer's interpretation of how long that fermata should be. There's a little bit of freedom in there, so make good use of it, right? You don't get a lot of those in music. So, wonderful, wonderful work on Good Morning to You, all right? We have done a remarkable job playing in middle C position now, okay? Now, we're going to sort of take that idea of middle C position and we're going to take it one step further. We're actually going to introduce a new kind of note today, okay? You probably weren't expecting that. But surprise! I always have surprises, don't I? So today on page 75, you're going to notice a pink box at the top of the page, okay? It says 8th notes in it, okay? Let me show you what it looks like. Page 75 in your book. There it is. There's 8th notes. And then, lo and behold, we are going to learn happy birthday to you today. Woohoo! So if you have any birthdays coming up in your family or your friends, give them like a virtual concert. Wouldn't that be cool? You can play happy birthday for them. All right? Now, 8th notes. All right? 8th notes are really, really cool because it's played in the same amount of time as a quarter note. Okay? Now, if you remember, a quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay? Now, if you take that quarter note and you split it in half into 2 different notes, those 2 notes would be called 8th notes, okay? 1 8th note and another 8th note. 2 of them put together makes 1 quarter note, okay? Does that make sense? A little bit of musical math for you, okay? Now, you'll notice in the pink box it says that 8th notes are usually played in pairs, and that is true, okay? Because if you're trying to fill the time it takes to play 1 beat, 2 of them are necessary, okay? All right, now looking here, we have a clapping exercise to do, okay? It's gonna feel a little bit elementary, but that's okay. We're gonna give this a try, all right? Notice it says here, clap or tap these notes counting aloud, okay? We have 3/4 time and we have 3 quarter note claps, and then we have 6 eighth note claps with a repeat sign, okay? I'm going to demonstrate how I want you to do this and how I want you to count it out loud, okay? Let's give it a try. I'm going to count off like I usually do, and you'll hear how I do it, okay? 1, 2, 3, ready, and clap. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, so each big beat gets a number, right? But the little beat, I give it the syllable and, right? So if we do it a little slower, it's more like this. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's all like, when you realize like how much math is in music, it really helps to understand it a lot better, okay? A lot of these rhythms and division of how we do these things in measures and things like that, it's math, okay? So if you happen to like math or be fairly good at math, music is only going to be enhanced, okay? So now looking at your song, Happy Birthday to You. Let's do some analyzing, okay? Let's see. I have my pencil, okay? I notice here it is going to be 3/4 time, okay? So 3 beats a measure, just like that clapping line that we did, okay? It also begins with the left hand, finger 4 on a G, okay? So that's telling me that we are going to be in middle C position again, okay? It also begins with 2 eighth notes, right? So it's going to be quick notes. Because if you think about it, you're dividing the word happy, 2 syllables, in the same amount of time as 1/4 note. So you have to be able to smush both syllables of the word happy in that one beat, okay? That's kind of how this works, all right? As we continue, we see slurs, we see a harmonic second in the right hand. On the second line, we see a few different things going on here, and it looks actually pretty similar to the stuff that we learned in Good Morning to You, okay? The only difference is that we've got those eighth notes to make the word happy, right? Those 2 syllables, okay? I do see fermatas in the last line, so I'm going to give those a circle. And then I see fermatas again at the very end of the song, right? So it's sort of very much related to Good Morning to You. Just the difference is those 2 syllables in the word happy, okay? So let's give this a try. We should know a good amount of the notes from the week prior, but let's at least give it a try here with those 8 notes, okay? All right, you can do this. Wonderful. All right, looking here, I'm gonna start here in that middle C position. I've got both my thumbs on C, and I'm starting with that left hand finger 4 on G, okay? I'm going to play it slowly, but notice the 8th notes, okay? If you're feeling good, give me a thumbs up, all right? All right, I'm going to count off, and notice it does also begin with that incomplete measure, okay? I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 4, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2 with the second. 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1 with the third. 4, 4 up to 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you've got the fermata, so hold it. 3 again with 4, 4, 3, down to 1, 2's all around with a 1, with a fermata and a third. All right, how did that go? Was that a little bit confusing? I might have played it a little bit quick, but that's okay. I'm sort of giving you a little bit of a push today because I know that since not a lot of thought needs to be going into the notes per se, since it's very much related to last week's song. I really want you to put that energy towards the actual notes in the eighth notes, right? So the division of those quarter notes into an eighth note, okay? So keep that in mind as you're practicing here, okay? You may also want to take a pencil and circle those pairs of eighth notes that you come across, right? Every time it says the word happy, it's going to be a pair of eighth notes, okay? All right, I'd like to play through this song once more, okay? Let's give it a try. I'll switch to piano view. Oh yes, I'm a little crooked today. That's okay. It must have moved. All right, I have both my thumbs on middle C. I'm starting there with that finger 4 on G, left hand, and that's the word happy, okay? I'm going to count off, and this time I am going to say note names instead of finger numbers, okay? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. G, G, A, G, C, B, second. G, G, A, G, D, C, third. G, 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 A, C, B, A, and you hold it. F, B, C, D, down to C with a All right, that was better. That was better, right? Every time you play it, it gets better. You notice these things, right? I hope you notice these things. I certainly do. And I see the progress in the group too. It's quite remarkable to see. You know, we have a student that may post something that they're having trouble with, and then another student chimes in. They're like, oh yeah, I'm having trouble on that too. And then they work it out a little bit and they get that interaction. And then I pop in and I give my teacher tips, right? And then I hear them play it again, and it's so much improved. It's wonderful. I'd love for you to be a part of that too, okay? Now that's happy birthday to you. That's going to be your first song for today, okay? I want you to turn the page, okay? Let's turn the page. Now, on page 76, all right, this is more about eighth notes and about that division, that musical math, right? Now, if you look on 76, there's 2 little songs, okay? Take a look. One is called Shoe Fly Shoe, and then the other one's called Skip to My Lou, right? And these are probably songs that you learned as a kid, right? You'll notice that these little songs are right hand only songs, right? You see the treble staff, you see that they're in 4/4 time. You see that it's kind of an exploration between rhythm patterns in the right hand only, okay? Now, there's a couple spots in here where you may have to stretch that thumb down, your right hand thumb, finger 1, down to a B, okay? So don't be alarmed when you see it written and you're like, oh my gosh, she didn't tell me. I'm telling you now, okay? Now, let's see how Shoe Fly Shoe goes, and you'll notice how the rhythm changes to Skip to My Lou, okay? First, let's do Shoe Fly Shoe. All right, piano view. Here we go. All right, since it's a right hand only song, I'm gonna put that right hand thumb, middle C, right there, okay? And I fanned out my fingers. I will be beginning with a finger 3 on E, playing a nice mezzo forte, and I'm going to start by playing Shoe Fly Shoe by saying the note names to begin, okay? Let's give it a try. I'm gonna count off. 1, 2, ready, play. E, E, C, C, E, E, up to G, hold, D, D, stretch to B, B, up to D, D to F, hold, E, E, down to C, C, up to E, E, then G with a fermata. D, F, E, D, C, hold, C, hold. Excellent job. All right. Yeah. Okay, so you notice these things, right? This song primarily consisted of quarter notes, right? So we're playing the big beat, right? Occasionally you have a half note in there every now and then at the end of a phrase, but that's totally normal, okay? Now, that quarter note is important because it's defining the beat, right? When you're trying to learn about different types of notes and their divisions within a measure, and even down to within a beat, you have to be able to do that mathematically, right? By defining the big beat in Shoe Fly Shoe, it is allowing ourselves to understand the relationship between quarter notes and eighth notes, okay? I'm going to see if we can play through Shoe Fly Shoe once more, and this time I'm going to say my finger numbers, okay? Remember, right hand only song, we're on page 76, the first song called Shoe Fly Shoe, okay? Let's give it a try. Okie dokie, so I'm here again in my middle C position, and I've got my finger 3 beginning this song on an E, all right? I'm going to count off, and let's play through it together. 1, 2, ready, play. 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, hold, 2, 2, stretch to 1 on the B, 1, 2, 2, up to 4, hold, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 5 with the fermata. 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Excellent work. Excellent work here. Yeah, so if you've done a good job of playing both times through nice, big, solid quarter note beats, then you're going to really enjoy when we jump down here to Skip to My Lou, okay? Because some of those beats are going to be divided, right? So into eighth notes, every now and then you have to pay close attention to where it's happening in the measure, okay? So now that we know that, let's jump down to Skip to My Lou. It's the same hand position, practically the same notes, definitely the same fingers, but you notice the difference when they throw in those eighth notes, okay? Let's do it together. All right. So Skip to My Lou begins again on a finger 3. There it is, right hand finger 3. And I'm going to count off again, all right? So notice as I say the note names where it stretches and where it includes those divisions for the eighth notes, okay? I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. C, C, E, 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 G, hold, D, D, skip to B, B, D, E, D, F, hold, E, E, down to C, C, E, 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 G, hold with the fermata. D, E, F, E, D, C, hold, C, hold. All right. Did you find those spots with the eighth notes? Yes? If you didn't, that's okay. We're going to play through this again so that way we get another time on, on our list of tallies to show that we are playing it more and more, okay? And each time you do it, it gets easier and it improves, okay? Piano is not something that happens overnight, and I know that you know this now. All right, let's try this again. Skip to My Lou with the eighth notes, and I'm going to do finger numbers this time, okay? Let's see if we can do it together. All right, I'm here with my finger 3 on my E, okay? I will be saying finger numbers this time through, so listen carefully if this helps you. All right, let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 5, hold, 2, 2, skip to 1, 1, 2, 2, Very, very good. You got through it. All right. Nice job. So that is a skip to my Lou, okay? In addition to, let's see, what was the other one we did? Oh, yes, Happy Birthday to You. So those are going to be like, your big song is Happy Birthday to You, and then you have these two mini songs, okay? You have Shoe Fly Shoe and Skip to My Lou. I just realized that all of that rhymes. Of course. Happy birthday to you, shoe fly shoe, skip to my Lou. Okay, I'm feeling really, really silly right now. So have fun practicing that trio of fun little songs there, okay? You do not have any theory this week either, okay? But I want you to see if you can find another song, either listening on the radio or looking online or watching something on YouTube, if you can find a song that has an eighth note pattern to it, right? If you can find something where it goes quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note. If you can find something like that, I would love if you would post a link to that song in the group, because I want us to practice listening and hearing these types of rhythmic divisions within our music. So no written work this week, but do some listening theory homework, okay? See if you can find a cool song that has eighth notes in it, okay? Wonderful. All right. Well, we had a really good time today. I'm glad that you were able to join me. A quick reminder, of course, I'm on Patreon, right? I say this every lesson, but it's because it's important, right? If you want these lessons to keep going, if you enjoy the way I teach, even if we have a little fun and we're kind of silly, that is okay, right? We always achieve our goals, we practice. I create an environment that's very helpful, and I want you guys to reap the benefits of what I'm providing here. So if you want to help keep these going, consider joining Patreon, right? So patreon.com/IzzyChia. I would love to have you. I think I have 29 patrons, so whoever joined in this last weekend, thank you. I appreciate you all so, so very much, all right? And last, of course, is our music quote, right? So we end every lesson with the music quote. And today's quote comes from the Brazilian writer, Paulo Coelho, and this is what he says. One day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now. That is on point, I'm telling you. Yes, you know, we always think, oh, we'll do it later, we'll learn it later, right? We'll think about things and we'll be like, oh, I wish I had the time to do all these things that I want to do, right? Now's the time, right? Now's the time. If you've always wanted to learn how to play the piano, you've come to the right YouTube channel, right? If you've always wanted to sing on stage, do it, right? Find that courage inside of you and just achieve your goal, right? See what you can do to make it happen. Reach out to the people you care about and get support, right? Yeah, it's all a wonderful thing, right? Human expression in art, in music, in poetry, in theater. Oh, it just makes life totally wonderful and amazing. So don't waste any more time, right? Now is your time to do that, all right? And you know I'll be here to support you every step of the way, all right? All right, thank you so much for joining me for piano today. I am so happy that I get to do this with you every week. You just brighten my day. Thanks again. I appreciate you all. Subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you guys later. Okay? Take care. Bye.